Playing in one of the top five leagues in the world is amazing feeling for me and a good feat. And of course, a lot of people worldwide consider the Premier League as the best and the strongest league. But of course, I'm on a process. I'm in a phase. So now I'm in one of the best league in the world, which is the Italian Serie A. Of course, I'm working so hard to make sure that I achieve my dream in playing, of course, in the Premier League someday.
For a lot of Manchester United fans, Victor Osimhen, he is the #1 dream striker for Erik Ten Hag this summer. So what I'm going to do in this video is take a full look at Osimhen's season so far at Napoli. What are his strengths? What's he been doing right? What's made him one of the most prolific strikers in Europe? We're going to assess his game, take a look at in-game examples of that movement, that finishing, the pressing, and all the strengths of his game. Also taking a look at maybe what he's not so good at, but trying to understand exactly how he would fit in at Manchester United if we signed him this summer. So make sure you drop a like on the video. Big up to Stephen for helping with this research. Going to hopefully be bringing plenty of these to United People's TV and the community across the course of the next few months. But let's dive into it and let's talk about Osimhen. Now, I'm going to be going full screen quite a bit in this. You might not see me, but you'll definitely hear me. Osimhen, look, man, his numbers, he has been putting them up. Bear in mind, these stats may have changed a little bit now because a couple of games have probably been played. But Victor Osimhen has been banging the goals in, man. Look at that. Matches played 28 with 25 goals and 4 assists. He has been prolific this year for Napoli. If you take a look at his pizza chart here, which compares him to other strikers in top 5 leagues, the higher the number, the better he is in that. 96th percentile for shots, 98th percentile for goals, 6th percentile for expected goals. He is a seriously impressive striker with the goals that he has been putting up this year in a Napoli team that has been brilliant, dominating Serie A, nailing it in the Champions League, and this is how they've been playing. And it's a partnership with, I'm going to call him Kvara, because I've just taken a look at his video to see how I pronounce his name. It's this partnership there between Kvara and Osimhen, which really has been the most fruitful partnership for Napoli this season. And it's also something to take into account because when it comes to Osimhen and the strength of him, he's not a Harry Kane type striker, right? He's not going to be dropping deep, receiving the ball, being that link-up playmaker. He's going to be that guy who stays in the box. And if you find him in the box and your creators are good enough, he is going to find the back of the net. And you can take a look here at where he receives his key passes. Look at that. All in the box. He very much is more of a Van Nistelrooy type striker than a Harry Kane type striker. He is somebody who thrives on being in the right position at the right time, and also his off-the-ball movement is fantastic. We take a look at an in-game example here of that movement and between the defenders as well. The ball's out there. He predicts where it's going to go. He makes that run between the two centre-backs. He's found by his teammate. A wonderful, I think it's a first-time finish, right into the bottom corner. Keeper had absolutely no chance. Osimhen is really an elite-level finisher. But on top of that, there are 2 key aspects to his game that he's very, very good at as well. One of them is his aerial ability there. You can see that he receives more than 2 crosses per game successfully. He gets on the end of good crosses. And I believe he's scored so many headed goals this year. I wish I had the stat here, but I don't. He's a fantastic and prolific header of the ball. And look at that as well. Out of possession, his ball recoveries are nearly 2 per game. He is a striker who has that pressing style to his game. Now, it's not the ultimate, it's not the strongest characteristic of his game, but it's certainly one that suits and fits inside the Ten Hag system. Some more in-game examples here, this time of his heading ability. You can see here, he's got the defender there. He calls for the ball, and what he does is just a nice little step off the back of the defender, goes to the back post, leaps up, bang, headed goal. And he's done that so many times for Napoli this season. It's one of his biggest threats. But of course, the biggest threat that he's posed is his finishing ability. And the numbers really are quite impressive. Over 4.5 shots per game. But look at that. Nearly 1 goal per 90 on average. Well, these stats were accurate at the time. They might have changed somewhat now. But he is genuinely world class when it comes to the finishing. And that's the most important thing. That's what Manchester United have been missing, right? That prolific, clinical striker. The one, instead of being a 1 in 4 striker, so he's more of a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 striker. That's what we need. We're creating a lot of opportunities. And to go back there a few slides and say how important that partnership has been with Kvara on the left-hand side. Imagine what Bruno could do if he had Osimhen getting on the end of all his chances. That could be a serious partnership. This is also a great example of his movement off the ball. Just smart, intelligent, strong striker play. He's actually behind Chris Smalling here, but the ball gets played in behind. He makes up 2 to 3 yards, pushes Chris Smalling off, and look where he finishes from. Look at the angle on that. That's an outrageous finish. Right into the side netting. Wonderful, wonderful finish. And it's not the only example of it this season. If we're going to be looking at, as I said, he is not particularly a Harry Kane type striker. He's not going to be that link up number 9. Harry Kane has developed a new part of it. Not part of his game, but he's developed into a bit of a playmaker at Spurs, hasn't he? Loves to drop deep, gets the assists, loves to find the balls in behind. Victor Osimhen will not be operating like that. Here's an example of that weakness of his game. It's not something to slag him off about, but I'm saying don't expect him to be that playmaker who drops deep and really sort of links everybody up. It's not really the best strengths of his game. It is just an example of him receiving the ball here and just the ball going off. It's just a poor pass. It's just a poor pass. But that's not really what we want him for. What we want him for is this. What we want him for is elite level finishing. What we want him for is to stay in that box and to be clinical. And that is where he has been absolutely world class this year. He does have off the ball movement. He does have the aerial ability, but it's that finishing. That's ultimately the biggest strength of his game. And probably the main reason you should be excited about the idea of signing Osimhen. Now, just out of interest, we'll take a quick comparison here, comparing him to Weghorst, taking a look at him against Vlahovic, for example, and also comparing him to Harry Kane. And you can see where he blows Weghorst out of the water, absolutely everything, apart from ball recoveries. And that is because, well, that's Weghorst's greatest strength. If we're comparing him to Vlahovic here, Victor Osimhen's actually the blue pizza chart. Vlahovic is the red one. He's just better. He's just better than Vlahovic in pretty much everything. In fact, no, I think it actually is. Absolutely everything there, apart from successful box entries where they're pretty much level. And if you're comparing it to Harry Kane as well, Victor Osimhen again is the outer blue chart. Victor Osimhen is just a little bit better than Harry Kane. What Harry Kane is very, very good at down here, of course, as I said, is the assists. Now, the interesting one, I know, so that's not him. That's Osimhen. Osimhen's actually got more assists. I didn't even know that. If this is the one I find interesting here, right? Let me circle this. Successful box entries, right? Let me pull this one up. This one here. Because Harry Kane is dominating Osimhen in that sense, but look at that. Victor Osimhen still has more goals than him. Now, what that tells you is that Victor Osimhen is extremely clinical with his finishing. And that is the biggest thing I would say take away from this scouting report. The biggest thing is his finishing. Victor Osimhen is lethal. Now, he's had that partnership with Kvara, and in that Napoli side, they've been creating chances galore. But Manchester United, we have also been creating chances galore this year. And if we're looking at the biggest weakness we've had with our attack, it's that lack of clinical finishing. So to summarise the scouting report here, Stephen's given him a B+. In terms of the strengths, we're looking at speed, agility, heading, attacking movement, and work rate. Now, there's some questions to be asked about the link-up play. Also, some questions to be asked about his injury record and his composure. But overall, you are looking at a truly world-class potential striker here. If anybody manages to sign Victor Osimhen, they will be signing a world-class striker. He's got goals. He's got that aerial ability. He does have the pressing game that will be very important for Erik Ten Hag. Is he the ideal signing for you? You let me know what you think in the comments below, but I can understand the hype behind Osimhen. And when you take a look at everything here and you understand exactly what United need, you can see the profile. You can see where he ticks so many boxes for Erik Ten Hag. You let me know what you think about Osimhen in the comments below. And if you want to see more than these, please consider dropping a like on the video. They do take longer to do, but I enjoy doing them.